Welcome to Living in the Path. I'm so glad you found yourself to this module program on This Is Going to Happen to You. So this is dealing with a very delicate topic in most of our cultures, death. Death is pretty much the ultimate transition, the major change we will go through in this life. And this module does focus on this profound text, Kabji Pabonka Rinpoche's Heart Spoon. So it's a very much graphic poem, very heart-wrenching about death. And Kabji Lama Zopa Rinpoche takes you through it with a very beautiful commentary on actually how to get ourselves prepared for this experience that is definitely going to happen to you. So I actually wanted to start off with the first two stanzas of Heart Spoon to get you in the mood a little bit and talk a little bit about the outline of this precious module. Ah, the hurt. Kind Lama, look to this pitiful one, how I behave and how I've cheated myself my entire life. Please look upon this mindless one with compassion. The essential advice to give yourself, heart spoon, keep it deep within your heart. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. Reflect upon the state of your life from the essential drop at your heart. So talking about the essence, the essential drop at your heart, Kabji Lama Zopa Rinpoche mentions the title, Heart Spoon. Why is it called spoon? It's not literally translated like that in the Tibetan, is what Kabji Pabonka Rinpoche says, and some other lamas have mentioned. But spoon, as Lama Zopa Rinpoche says, often when you're eating, it kind of dips into the succulent desserts and gets the essence of the food with a spoon. So what Kabji Pabonka Rinpoche is really looking at is the essence, the essential thing in your practice. What do I really have to practice? Tibetan Buddhism takes you through a variety of rich and precious practices from bodhicitta and emptiness like that, but death seems to be a current that runs through everything we're doing, and it seems to be the one thing we most deny and turn away from. Okay, so let's look at what's going on in this precious program that you can encounter. So one of the things is death is what gets you to practice. Death is the thing that motivates you to practice. So we don't discuss death in our tradition as something that paralyzes you with fear, but the fear is used as a motivator. So if I never think about death, I live every moment right now with what's ever in front of me. Okay? And I'm also planning a lot of other events in my life that may or may not happen. And that's the way most people in our societies move through space. The other thing is we have to look at our relationship to change. So change is the one thing you can count on in life, and it's the one thing a lot of people resist. And every time we resist change, we suffer. So we have little changes we go through, we have more major changes. If we practice well first with the small changes that go on in our lives and get used to that life is always changing. Samsara's nature is that things change all the time. So the more we can practice with small changes in our life, that the vacation ends and partners change, jobs change, when we get to more significant changes like a death in our family, death of a loved one, it could be a breakup of a long-term relationship, the most significant change we are going to encounter in life is our death. So the fact is also is that it's the only thing we can really count on that we know is definitely coming. Okay, and most people don't want to talk about it, and they say it's morbid. Okay, so what Heart Spoon is talking to us about is this is essential to start to look at it now. It motivates our practice. So what Kabji Lama Zopa Rinpoche looks at in the module is how are we practicing? So some mindful guidelines, some mindfulness meditation on what do you do in your life every day? You know, are you creating positive imprints in your everyday life by taking care of others, being kind, making offerings? doing some meditation practice, keeping commitments, being a nice person, doing your work well. How much time is wasted in our everyday moments? Okay? So if you just think about a 24-hour day, about a third of it is spent sleeping. Okay, then we have all the getting dressed, getting washed, going to work, going to school, food shopping, cooking, eating, talking to people, living in relationship. I mean, how much time is really spent practicing the Dharma? So this module looks at ways to get you to focus a little bit better. And Heart Spoon itself, with the commentary that Rinpoche rolls out, is actually designed, because it is sort of heart-wrenching, it's supposed to be dealt with very personally. Okay, it frightens you to a degree to get you to really think about this is a situation that is coming. It's actually coming to us now. So we plan normally in life our holidays. We plan when I'm going to change jobs. I plan when I'm going to go to the store, to the shop. You plan what you're going to have for dinner. You plan when you're going to see your friends, and none of that is at all anything that we are sure about. So death's the only thing that we really know is coming. The other things, they may or may not happen. You get tickets for a trip, and then somebody gets sick and you have to cancel. Or something happens and it gets canceled. Okay? So death is definitely coming. Are you ready? Are you ready for this experience? Okay, because this is going to happen to you. This is the theme of Heart Spoon. This is the theme of this module. This is going to happen to you. So over and over again, Rinpoche reminds us of this in the module to really soak your mind in it. So the best way these modules are designed is as a personal endeavor for me to explore my practice through the teachings, guidelines, videos, homework assignments, and meditations that are contained in the module to basically get me in touch with my practice and to get me in touch with the topics. So these fall under Lam Rim topics, Lam Rim stages of the path, okay? And what it's designed to do through this very interpersonal relationship with the teachings in this module is to move an intellectual understanding that I am going to die. Most people get that here. They have an intellectual understanding of it. What the meditations in the Course does is it moves it to a deeper experience here. Again, the heart essence is what Kyabji Pabonk Rinpoche is talking about, this heart essence. So you're moving an intellectual understanding of your death to where you have a spiritual experience, okay, an experiential realization, they might say, where you actually know you are going to die. You know you're going to die. And that's what starts to shift your life, and that's what gets you on the cushion to practice. So again, we move step by step in these modules. You have to move at your own pace in your practice. This is a process. This is a process. So what it means is we're all at different places. So you want to come to these stanzas, you want to come to this poem with your eyes open in your own experience of what is going to work for me to start to build these exercises into my daily life. Okay? So Rinpoche gives experiences, for instance, is this is going to happen to us. So what do you want to get ready? And part of it in creating virtuous experiences and in eliminating non-virtuous experiences, we have purification practices. So we've messed up. We're afraid that when I do die, I'm going to have a terrible experience. I might be full of pain. I might be very frightened. Okay? So if you're doing purification practices now in life, a little bit every day or as much as you can, that tends to eliminate the negative stuff that can create fear and uncomfortable, a lot of discomfort when we're dying. So Rinpoche talks about the prostrations to the 35 confession Buddhas. Fantastic practice. A lot of people build in on a daily basis or as much as you feel you can do that. There's people that like to do daily exercise. This is a way you can actually get exercise by doing something virtuous. Very powerful practice to clean away negativities. Another practice a lot of people do daily is Vajrasattva practice. Vajrasattva is a deity that is there just for us to purify. So there's a visualization, there's mantra recitation with the visualization, and a fantastic way, again, to clear away all the negativities of that particular day or whatever I've messed up during the day. So it eliminates guilt. We don't have guilt anymore. Very nice to do these practices in a component, in a framework of the four opponent powers, effective way to do purification. So then we get into, in this module, this is going to happen to you. Okay. So Rinpoche goes through via heart spoon that there's no turning away from death. This experience is definitely happening. We don't have any idea when it will happen. And it also runs along the lines of a 9-point death meditation, which is the traditional way that Tibetan Buddhism moves out the death meditations and the death experience and understanding in our particular tradition. So thinking about all the different beings that you know who have died, people die at all different ages, how much time am I spending practicing Dharma? And through this, you're trying to cultivate this awareness that it's definitely coming and there's nothing I can do about it. It's definitely coming. There's nothing I can do about it. So again, this is definitely going to happen to you. This is going to happen to you. It also talks about moving through all these experiences of looking at all the different ways that suddenly people die. Somebody's having dinner one night and they turn to their partner to say something and they're gone. Have a heart attack, an aneurysm. These things happen to people all the time. You know people this has happened to. And you know that people die at all different ages. So why suddenly do we think, oh, I'm immune from this. This isn't going to happen to me. This isn't going to happen to me. And then we live our lives like that. So Dharma practice, it gets put off. Dharma practice is later. After I get the house and pay down the mortgage. After I get into university and finish and get my degree. After I change jobs and move. Once I get all the boxes unpacked, then I'm going to have my practice started. Once I get the right table for the altar, then I'm going to start my practice. Once I sort this thing and find a boyfriend, then I'm going to practice. That's what and it goes on. And once we find the boyfriend, once we change jobs, once we get the altar sorted, there's another excuse. There's another excuse and another excuse. Okay? So right now in contemporary society, it feels like people's excuses of why they can't practice are more and more sophisticated. We are incredibly distracted. So Kabji Pabonka Rinpoche, long before the internet, came in with, don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. These are teachings you have to pay attention to. This is the essence again. Heart spoon. This is the essential drop. This is the most important thing. So we put off all these things, don't want to practice, and then suddenly death is there knocking at the door. You have a life-threatening illness. You're completely freaked out right now. So for your peace of mind, this is what we want to do, is we want to start to look at it now at any age, but please start to look and explore that this is an experience I can definitely count on that's coming. So the other things are how much time he goes into, and Heart Spoon covers this as well, and Kabji Lama Zopa Rinpoche gives more exercises of how to work with Heart Spoon in the little bit of time we practice, how quickly the opportunity of our lives is passing away, how meaningful our lives as well. But it also deals with what happens at the end. How valuable are your possessions and your position? How does that help you when you're dying? A lot of people are clinging on to everything they own and everything they know and everything they think they are. Clutching desperately, it creates a lot of torment at the death time. You can be free of that. Can absolutely be free of that. Another thing that happens is the body is falling apart sometimes from long chronic illnesses, perhaps an accident. Something went wrong in the body's not sustaining you anymore. That's why we die. That's why we die. So why don't you visit right now in your daily life, how much time do you spend adorning and taking care of your body? Okay. We need to take certain care so we can function. We need to take certain care so we can practice Dharma, be awake, be alert, be healthy. But how much care goes beyond that? How much time is spent shopping for exactly the right shirt and exactly right trousers and the perfect shoes? And now I got those shoes and now I need other shoes. And now I need shoes in that color because I have them in this color. And how much time do you spend on the internet investigating the next phone you're going to buy and the next computer you're going to buy or the next car? How many hours is spent that goes out like that? And then death, that I know is coming, right? I don't spend any time thinking about that. And maybe it's because I don't know that it's coming. I don't capital K know that it's coming. Why? No experiential realization here. Some thought about it here, but nothing here in the heart, okay? So these are things that we really want to start to soak our mind in slowly through this module to start to get us to really realize how much of my day can I start reprioritizing. So using a little bit, taking from the other stuff, the time wasters, and we're not going to do anything rashly, but starting to readjust some of that time into more serious Dharma practice. Getting on my cushion, studying another course, right? Going to more classes, reading another Dharma book, something like that. Could it be a half an hour less of TV this week and I put it into my Dharma practice? What normally happens for people after that experience is they feel less guilty and you suddenly have more meaning in your life, right? And then maybe you know a little bit something, little more added to your Dharma career, so it empowers you. Empowers you. Now you're feeling, okay, I want to do the next module. Okay, this is how we make meaning in life. So the last part of the outline of this module, Rinpoche talks about making meaning in life. Making meaning in life. We have an incredible opportunity right now. And what happens, because we're not geared to thinking about death, we have ideas that it's frightening. And those ideas are reinforced by the culture around us. You see how older relatives reacted when you were a child. The fear, the grief, the tears, all that is natural. It's a natural part of death. It's okay, but never to consider that you're going to die and have a healthier approach to it. This is a natural part of living. It's a natural part of living, okay? I mean, sometimes I feel like in the old days when I was a kid, the cinema, the movies, had big marquees out front. These big things, and it showed the name of the movie on each side. And sometimes I feel like there should be one that says death, coming soon to a body near you, death. We should really interact with it like that because we're asleep as far as death. I don't want to talk about it. Okay. So what Rinpoche says right now is we have every perfect opportunity to begin to introduce the Dharma, integrate it into our lives. So every day I have something that brings meaning to my life. Every day I wake up with some mindfulness meditation, some awareness of trying to be as kind to others as I can, generating bodhicitta, understanding what refuge is, understanding the path. And part of it is beginning to look at, one day this is all going to end, and it could be today. So what if we started to encounter every day that this is my last day? Because again, this is going to happen to you. And if it's a waking motivation, instead of it being morbid, because it can be a shocking thought, however, it gets me motivated for the day. If it's my last day, I'd like to be kind to people. I'm not going to be a jerk on my last day. If it's your last day, the tendency is there may be a challenging person in your life that you work with. Okay? If it's your last day, it could be the last time you're going to see them. Usually the last time we're going to see somebody like that, we can tolerate them much better than when they're there every day. So this is your mindset for the day. And this is what Rinpoche tries to motivate us to see through this module, that now's the time to start. There's no better time than now. And we have every perfect opportunity to start to integrate these experiences, these modules, these teachings into our mind and into our heart. So I hope you enjoy this module. and certainly the very profound stanzas of Heart Spoon, and more nice to read it once in a while to remind yourself this is going to happen to you.